Hi guys, my name is Terry and this is my channel Home Again. Hey, if you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by and checking it out. And if you've watched before or subscribed, welcome back YouTube family. Well, today I'm just sitting rocking away here on the porch of the cabin. And if you're wondering why I'm at a cabin, check out my who, why, and where video. If I can figure out how to post it, I'll put it up there. If not, it's a couple videos back. And that'll explain where I'm at. But anyways, I'm guessing you figured out from that intro that we're making chocolate covered strawberries today. Yep. No, it's not rocket science to figure out how to dip a strawberry in chocolate, but there are a few little tricks to it. You know what? Years ago I went to a party and one of my friends brought it as her side dish to bring. She brought a big, beautiful platter. They were so pretty and they were so delicious. I thought it was really neat. So she shared with me how she made them. And now I make them probably at least a few times a year. They're really easy and fun to make, and they're really delicious, and they're a real showstopper at a party. They're healthy for you. Well, at least that's what I'm gonna say. Hey, there's antioxidants in strawberries, there's antioxidants in dark chocolate. I even put olive oil in mine. We're just gonna call them healthy, okay? They've got to be one of the healthier desserts for sure. That's my story and I'm sticking with it. And I looked them up online. Some people actually pay $35 for a half dozen or up to $80 for a full dozen. Not me, I'm too cheap. If I can do it myself, I'll do it. And as I'm videoing this, it's amazing. The animals that keep coming out. I want to turn my camera around right now. I'm looking at a deer. But I'm sure as soon as I move and turn my camera around, he's gonna run away. They're everywhere. I was filming earlier and I had a whole flock of turkeys behind me and I missed getting it on film. Oh, I wish I could turn this camera around. I'm gonna try in a minute. Bear with me. A car's going by now, so I don't know if that's gonna scare him. He's distracted by the car. Isn't he beautiful? Hey there. Do you want to be on my YouTube channel? Come on and join me. I think you'd get me more views. Yeah. Is all my talk about strawberries making you hungry? I saw you licking your lips. Those nasty bugs are bothering you, aren't they? I won't charge you anything extra for that, folks. Maybe I should just turn the camera around and film the deer and the turkeys and be a lot more interesting than me, I think. Anyways, why don't you join me? I'm gonna go into my kitchen and get my hands covered in chocolate. Let's have some fun. This is what you're gonna need. A regular pack of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I think it's 16 ounces, you know, the normal size package you'd buy for chocolate chip cookies. Doesn't matter what brand, whatever brand you like in your chocolate chip cookies should be fine for your strawberries. I just happen to have Nestle's this day. And this time I bought these little muffin cups to put them in. I thought that would be a better way to serve them. I used olive oil in mine, but if you're going to use olive oil, make sure you use a mild. You don't want to have any weird or strong taste to it. You can use canola oil, vegetable oil, any kind of mild oil. I don't usually decorate them up much. We just like them with chocolate, but 4th of July was coming. I thought I'd get some sprinkles, and I found these sprinkles, so to try to make them look a little prettier, I bought these at the dollar store. I thought those would be cute for a birthday party or a baby shower. Next, you're going to want to wash your berries. If you wash them earlier in the day, you can just let them air dry, but I had just washed mine, and so I'm patting them dry. And when you do that, you want to take these greens, the little caps on the top of the strawberries, and get those leaves out of the way. Try to pinch them together like in a little cluster, and see if you can get them out of the way of your strawberry, because that's going to be your little handle you hold on to as you dip them. So just kind of pinch them and try to form them, but be real careful because sometimes they can pop off. Next, you're going to want to take about half of your bag of chocolate chips, put them in a glass bowl, or even better yet, a glass measuring cup, and put 2 tablespoons of your oil into half of that bag of chocolate chips. Mix it in, and I melt mine in a microwave. You can use a double boiler if you want, but I always use a microwave. Now the trick here is you want to melt these chocolate chips, but you do not want to burn the chocolate. And yes, you can burn chocolate even in a microwave. And this is just a little low voltage microwave, but I would put it only like at 30 seconds at a time. If you have a more powerful microwave, you might want to just do 15 seconds at a time. The key is slow and steady wins the race. You don't want to try to zap it quick, because if you burn that chocolate, it's either going to have a funny taste to it, or it's going to get like chunky or flaky. It just gets weird. So every time you do it for 30 seconds or whatever, take it out, mix it, and put it back in for a little more until you get it nice and creamy like this. And you're ready to dip your strawberries now. Now the chocolate is just warm. It's not hot. It's just barely warm. And if you wait a little longer, I started dipping mine right away, but I probably should have waited maybe just 30 seconds, a minute longer for the chocolate to get a little thicker, because if you'll see when I set this one down on I put them on parchment paper. I imagine you could use wax paper too, but I put mine on parchment paper. When I set it down, it makes a little like puddle underneath it. If your chocolate's a little cooler, it probably would be less likely to do that. It's kind of a trial and error as you go. The more you make them, the more you get the hang of how soon to dip them, how thick your chocolate should be. I never mind the little puddle, or it's like a little platform on the bottom, and I never mind that because it kind of keeps your strawberries from rolling all over your platter. I'm sure there are real fancy ways you can put them on a stick or hang them or something and not get any flat bottom to them, but I don't mind the flat bottom, and I'd rather have mine taste great than go to so much work in making them that they're such a hassle. I don't ever want to make them. We eat them so fast, nobody cares whether the bottom is flat or round. You gotta watch to make sure not to get any of those little caps, the little green leaves in your chocolate, of course. And as the chocolate cools, they get less of that puddling. And like I said, you just learn as you go. It's been a long time since I made these, and mine aren't to be any example of how fancy and pretty you can make them, because I'm used to just getting in and getting things done, and I have people gobble them up before they really care what they look like. But in the future, I'll probably make a video of all sorts of ways you can really fancy them up. Here I just decided, like I said, in a hurry to put some sprinkles on them. And you want to remember, after you dip them, that chocolate dries pretty fast. You don't even need to refrigerate it for the chocolate to start hardening. So why that chocolate is still wet is the time you want to put sprinkles or any kind of toppings on it. I've used sprinkles, I've used nuts, I have used shredded coconut. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do. And if you want to get really fancy, like the store-bought ones, you can just you can take other chocolate, like white chocolate or pink or blue chocolate, and melt that. And once the strawberry has firmed up, then you can drizzle other colors of chocolate on it. So there's just all sorts of ways you can make them fancy. So maybe in the future I'll do another video of ways to make them fancy and ways to arrange them, like for a gift or something. But like I said, they will harden, just like a chocolate chip gets soft in the cookie when you bake it, and then as soon as those cookies set out, that chocolate chip starts to firm up again. This will do the same thing. They will firm up without going into the fridge. But of course, as soon as they're all firm and nice and you get them in your tray, then you want to refrigerate them to keep them from melting. So when I started getting down to the bottom of the bowl here, I added another quarter of that package. So I have a quarter of the package left. So I used a half to begin with 2 tablespoons of oil, and then when I was running low on chocolate, I just added another quarter of the package to the bowl and microwaved it again for another 15 or 30 seconds. And when you take it out, it can look all chunky or lumpy like that, and the more you mix it, it will just blend, and that's the way to do it. You don't want to heat the chocolate till it's all smooth and runny. You just want to get it soft enough to where when you mix it like that, all those little chocolate chips smooth out and they disappear. See, this second batch is a little thicker. There's less of the puddling and it's sticking to the strawberry. They all stuck to the strawberries great. It's just whether they made a little platform on the bottom or not. And so far, the most I've used is 3/4 of a package of the chocolate chips. I'll show you near the end here. When I am done, I'm left with just 1/4 of the bag left. I had some almonds. I just decided at the last second to pull those out and sprinkle some of those on. We like nuts on things. I should have taken the time to chop them so they weren't just long strips of nuts. So it looks kind of messy. I get it. Like I said, this is not the example of how to make them the prettiest, but they will be yummy. And then you can work and do your thing and jazz them up however you want. I had some leftover nuts left and a little bit of chocolate, and all my strawberries were gone, so I just threw those nuts in the chocolate and I put them on some parchment paper, and these are me and my hubby's movie snacks later tonight. Little chocolate pieces with nuts in it. They'll harden up and later we'll watch a movie, have some popcorn, and this is our chocolate. Well, why waste anything, right? And then next I just start putting them in their little muffin cups, and I put mine on a metal cake pan and then just stored them in the fridge till they, got nice and chilled. Put a loose piece of saran wrap over the top. There's our little chocolate candy bars. And this was a mammoth strawberry. It literally was the size of the palm of my hand, and when I put it in the bowl to dip it, I swear it used up so much of my chocolate, but I could not wait to try this. It was so big. It was delicious though. I guess you can figure out what happened to that piece. I should say too, my strawberries are really ripe. I don't know if I said that before, but I would recommend not buying them that ripe. I just had mine in the fridge and I wanted to use them up, and they were great. They lasted for a few days and they were great. But it's not a bad idea to buy them a little less red than this, because even if they're a little tart, the chocolate sweetens them, so it works out. And then they'll last longer too, probably. If you liked this, could you please give me a thumbs up and subscribe? I sure would love that. Thanks so much for watching again, guys. Take care.